Hey everyone, I just wanted to take a moment to honor the memory of Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom, who tragically lost her life, and stand in support of Air Force Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolfe, who's currently fighting for his. This is following the shooting that occurred here in Washington, D.C. on November 26th. As a West Virginian and combat veteran myself, this tragedy definitely hits home for me. I understand the commitment and sacrifice that comes with serving, especially in unpredictable times. While investigators continue to gather the facts on this case, I feel like this is an important opportunity to provide explanation of how forensic neuropsychopathology can help us understand violent events, not to assume motives, not to justify actions, and certainly not to sympathize with an offender, but to help the public see how science can guide accurate and responsible investigations. Across the three series that I completed in forensic neuropsychopathology, each area offers different parts into incidents like this one. For example, in my volume one, it covers brain behavior and legal relevance. What is that? Well, it explains how human behavior is influenced by brain function and decision making. And this targeted attack, investigators will use principles to reconstruct the sequence of events, understand situational behaviors, and evaluate cognitive demands that are involved, like planning, surveillance, or even rapid decision making. This helps clarify what happened and how actions unfolded without making assumptions about why. Now, the second volume covers mental disorders and psychopathology. In this particular series, it explains how mental health assessments fit into forensic evaluations and investigations. In cases like this, the framework reminds us that not every act of violence involves mental illness, but when evaluating any suspect, individual, perpetrator, what have you, investigators must objectively examine behavioral patterns, stress responses, trauma history, or other clinical factors that may become relevant down the line. This ensures that conclusions are based on evidence and not stigma, speculation, or sensationalism. Now, in the third and final series, covers forensic application and risk assessment. Here it shows how neuroscience, neuropsychology, and psychology are used in the legal system and public safety planning. When it's applied here, it helps investigators analyze intent, evaluate risk, and develop protocols to protect service members, law enforcement, criminal justice leadership, etc., and the public. It also guides agencies on how to respond, how to interpret behavioral science, and future threats that might be better identified or prevented. So this is all while maintaining respectful and victim-centered approach. Forensic neuropsychopathology doesn't excuse violence. It helps us understand it responsibly through science, evidence, and structured analysis. By applying these principles, we honor Specialist Beckstrom's memory, we support Staff Sergeant Wolfe, and help our community make sense of tragic events in a clear and informed way.